Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a whole month. Not gonna bore you with where I've been. I've been painting. That's all that matters, right? So since the last video, I have painted 2 paintings, finished. Shocking to myself, mainly because that never happens. It takes me forever. So yeah, if you want to check out that last one, I'll try to put the video in the description if I remember. Yeah, so since then I did 2 smaller paintings, one called 36 Layers and one called Monster of Grief. So I will probably include a couple of clips of that footage just to kind of show you what those paintings are about and show you a little bit more of that process, because I did actually take some clips, but I realized that I never actually edited any of those, any of the footage from that time frame. So I'm going to do that now. We'll insert some of those clips and then I will show you this painting and what this one is about. That's the newest one that I'm working on. This is actually going to be a triptych because I have 2 more canvases planned for sometime in the future. I don't know when. We'll see when this one gets finished. But yeah, so let me roll some of that older footage and we'll catch up after that. And this one is finally finished. There's always a bit of a glare with oil paintings when they're still kind of wet. And it's nighttime also, so the lighting is not the best, but here is the finished piece. It's called 36 Layers. It's really just kind of about celebrating myself and my own journey, and I'm calling it 36 years of 36 layers because I'm 36 years old, turning 37 this year. So I just kind of wanted to commemorate this year because it's been probably one of the, I say that about every year, but it's like been the most eye-opening year as far as me and my growth as a person and all of that good stuff. So yeah, so here she is, and she is based on me, though not literally. Doesn't exactly look like me, kind of, but not really. Maybe the body. To be honest, it's kind of like eerily close. Maybe not the wide hips. I'm not that strong when it comes to that, but still, she's got her rolls, which we all do, at least I do, and she's got her stretch marks, which I definitely do, and she's proud of it. She's dancing, she's got her eyes closed, she's trusting her intuition, she's being in her full feminine self, dancing through 36 layers of shadow that she had to go through. And as you can see, she's finally coming out to the light, up into the universe, to her higher consciousness, which actually I just realized that that was purple, which corresponds to the crown chakra, and I did not do that intentionally, but hey, nothing happens by accident, right? So yeah, she's just full on in her own glory, in herself, in her higher self, just having a ball. So that's what this is about. Here is a snippet of the new painting. It's actually just a acrylic background right now, just kind of like covering the white canvas, because anytime I see the white canvas it gives me anxiety because I'm trying to imagine something on it and it gets difficult. But I've been pretty good with planning out my stuff these days, so this is kind of what this one is going to look like. Yeah, I'm calling this one The Chase. Like usual, there's a story behind it, so yeah, we'll see how this ends up. So I am using this as a reference. The pose reference came from here. I wanted something a bit more dynamic, so a lot of my paintings have been kind of flat, and the figures just kind of like static standing, so I wanted something a bit more dynamic. Yeah, so this one should be fun, and it's got just some other nature elements like birds and flight and things like that. So yeah, this should be fun. I'm now trying to put in kind of where the bird is going to sit. It's gonna have to be centered, so I'm trying to be cognizant of that too. So really, like the bird staring down should be here. It's kind of like on an angle in flight mode, like it's about to catch its prey. Does not have to be perfect right now because it's going to get covered anyway when I put in paint later. So just kind of roughing out where it's supposed to be. Right now I'm actually working off of my own sketch, and I can either insert that somewhere or show you later, but I do want to use a good reference photo for this bird. It's actually supposed to be a falcon. A bit of an interesting story with this one is that well, let's hope I can get the whole wing in. It would be a shame if I didn't, so we're just gonna have to kind of like angle it and work with it. Yeah, a bit of a story with this falcon reference, because I had a dream recently and a falcon was in it. It actually landed on my hand and then it landed on my head, and it really felt like it was trying to give me some sort of a message. But the whole dream was kind of weird because I was visiting someone in a prison. At least it kind of felt like a prison to me in the dream, where I knew I was walking into a prison. And then when I was walking in there, I had to go through security, like really heavy security, and apparently it took a really long time to get in there. The interesting bit was that it was all women working in this security prison that I was visiting. And I finally got in through this heavy security. This is all, by the way, a dream. You can shut up. I mean, I did make it up, I guess, in my brain, subconsciously. And then it was dark when I entered this hallway, and then there was another lady. She was a guard guiding me through this dark hallway. And I looked down at my hands, and I had a padlock, like a lock. It was locked, but it was in my hands, like I was holding it. And I was walking through, and then I finally came to a room. It kind of felt like a cave, to be honest. And there was another guide in this cave, and another woman was there, kind of, I guess, for a tour. I don't know. And this was some sort of a cave, and then the guide told all of us, you have to get down to the ground because the ceiling gets really low. And then the ceiling started lowering, and Even the guard was like, I don't know why the ceiling comes down like this randomly. Apparently this was a random thing. So after the ceiling kind of got down, I felt really claustrophobic, but I didn't really feel like I was in any danger. We found ourselves, me and this guide lady, outside in, I guess I only can interpret it as like a bird sanctuary or something like that. It was still like pitch black. I don't know, like, it was like maybe like a little bit of light from the sky. That's kind of how I knew we were outside. And then a falcon landed on my hand first, and it started kind of like nibbling at my hand, but not like aggressively, just it felt like it wanted me to pay attention to something. I don't know what though. And then it kind of got into my hair, like tangled in my hair again, trying to get me to pay attention to something. And the guide lady looked at me and she was like, we should get out of here. They don't normally do that or something like that. And then I woke up from my drink. So I kind of felt like I had to incorporate a falcon flying in here somehow. I'm not wild about how this came out here. We'll see if we can fix that or curve it somehow. But there is a center, and then there's going to be another, I want to say here is going to be like another bird, like a little bluebird. The reason I put in this bluebird, there's a significance to it for me personally, but I keep seeing a bluebird when I go out on my walks. And it always lets me catch like a tiny glimpse of it. I only got like one blurry photo of it, and then like anytime I took a video, it was always like flying away from me. So it's this like me catching this bluebird, but it's still in flight, so it's still not letting me catch it. There's a deeper meaning to me. There's maybe a meaning that I associated with it, but yeah, that's kind of what this is going to be about. And in the back, I want to put in, like, she's sitting on a lotus flower, and this lotus flower is in a magnolia tree. I don't know why. I just like the magnolia trees, and there's a magnolia tree in this area where I walk outside daily when it's not raining, and they're just really pretty, and they have a lot of significance in general, in spiritual stories, or significance spiritually, I suppose you can say. And I wanted these paintings to be a bit kind of brighter, because my paintings, for the most part, with the exception of the last few, have been somewhat dark. And that kind of had to do with the themes and what I was painting, but this one's kind of light. And there is significance to that too, because it's kind of reflecting where I am in my life too. It feels a bit brighter and lighter, so yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. So right now I'm just going to block in and sketch out where everything is, and we'll go from there. It's gonna be, I may not do the tree right now because I'll have to put in the sky, and the tree vines are kind of just gonna go wherever, and then I'll do some magnolia flowers in the background, and then I'll kind of, when everything is dry, as a final touch, I will paint the little bluebird that I'm trying to catch here. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm working at the moment. I always tend to like my sketches a lot better than how the painting actually turns out eventually. Trying not to overwork it and overdo it too much with paint, but this is kind of where we are right now. So I will probably start painting this today. It didn't take me too long to sketch out. Again, I sketched it out freehand, and well, I might as well show you guys one. I am wearing pants, by the way. They're just shorts that kind of like roll up, which is really annoying. So I've been working in the sketchbook shoot since like end of April. I'm ready for it to be finished, honestly, but that's not it. I see a little bluebird poem. I kind of started with this concept. I wanted to do a triptych because I have 3 of these panels. This is the first one, and there's going to be 2 more. I have a bit of an idea. So see like 3 long canvases, and I was just kind of like, when I do painting ideas, sometimes I will just start with a pose. So maybe I'll see a reference pose that I like. I'll start that because a lot of the themes that I work with there's all kind of like personal figure related. When I say personal, it's more like personal to my journey, but there's usually like a central female figure. So I kind of work around that. And then I'll kind of like write down words that are in my mind at that moment. Like here we're talking about words that came to mind: path forward, inward journey, meditate, hindsight, honesty, lotus, rebirth, home, self, bright, creative, fate, orange, sacral, bluebird, right? So those are all things that were kind of floating in my head at the moment. Then I started sketching out, kind of more the figure and what's going to be around it. At that point, I didn't really know where it was going. I was thinking about the triptych, but I wasn't sure what was going to go on the other canvases or what this was actually going to look like. Then I was just kind of messing around with some ideas. I like the pose, and it just reminded me that I also wanted to do the Egyptian Greek. I think it's Bostis is Greek and Bastet is Egyptian. The cat goddess or whatever. I can't think of it right now, but and then again, more kind of just planning out of the painting. I initially wanted to do this pose, and then in the next one, like here, I have, as you can see, I did incorporate the canvas here, but I think this is going to be canvas number 3. I put 2 here, but it's going to be number 3. This one's going to call the Surrender, kind of like the final one. I was initially going to call it Inner Peace, but it didn't actually fit. So there's the falcon again, and the figure, and then I was going to incorporate some hands on the bottom, but I don't know if that's going to actually make it into the last painting. It may not, because this one's kind of just started off with the figure. So that's where we are. And then yesterday or last night, I was doodling around and I came up with this pose because I found the reference online, and I just panned up there, but I didn't have it open. I found a reference photo on Pinterest. It's not a photo, it was just like that reference guide sketch that you get from like reference pose books. And I really liked this because it was a bit more dynamic. It wasn't so static. There's movement in it. So I drew the pose first. Again, she's on a lotus flower surrounded by magnolia trees. There's some birds in the background. And then I figured I couldn't. You see, initially I had the falcon kind of taking flight, but in this case I wanted it also to be in flight mode, kind of chasing the same thing. That's why I called it the chase. And I really like this version a lot better. So I decided to go this with canvas 1 called the chase, and see, I was kind of like sketching out how the bird was going to look and what pose it was going to go with. And then the second canvas is I'm still kind of like doodling around ideas. I was going to call it the growth, which kind of sounds weird, like it's a growth of some sort, but not not like an actual growth on something, but like growing, like finally growing. I do like the pose. I don't know if I'm gonna go with that one initially, but I have time. So and I'm actually almost done with the sketchbook, which is good. There's only a few pages left. Maybe I could finish this in the next couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of days. But yeah, I really have to. I usually just like, I don't know, like I don't like washing these because they're like old towels. I was gonna throw them out anyway. So I use them, and then I use them until they're pretty bad, and I just chuck them. And I have this other painting down here. It's drying. Because I use safflower oil as my paint thinner, it just takes like a really long freaking time to dry. But you could see like this is kind of like a darker theme, even though it looks like a children's storybook feel, but it's actually not for children. But yeah, this one's just kind of like chilling down there and drying because I don't have a spot for it. and I will start working on this one now and stop talking. I am at the point right now where I'm actually kind of scared to start painting it. Mainly because I like to sketch, and there's always an ugly stage to every single painting. When you put down that first mark, it's like, okay, it's not too bad, and then you get to a certain point where you go, I hate this, I should probably never pick up a sketchbook ever again. And then it usually works out, but yeah, no, it's a little bit scary right now. I really hope the audio is good. We'll see. In any case, so that was kind of it in terms of what I'm working on, where I am currently with the process. I'll try to keep updating you on this painting and where we go from there. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do a bit more of a shorter vlog, like something like less than 20 minutes. Because mainly I don't have the patience for editing. I hate it. I think that's one of the reasons I didn't upload on this channel for a really long time. Felt like I had to come up with creative shit to post, and I frankly just don't want to. I'm just gonna post me. And if you want to watch, you're welcome. This is really also kind of like a video journal for myself. And if you just heard that really loud background noise, that is the air conditioning kicking in because it is hot AF on the east coast of Pennsylvania. Yes, humid. In any case, I hope the sound is actually coming through okay. But if you made it this far, thanks for sticking around. I will catch you in the next one. Thanks all. Bye.